All right, everybody, this is PillTalk Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Bartu, coming to you with your daily dose of medicine to get you motivated, inspired, and live at your full potential. I have a special guest today, Matthew Harmono. What piqued your interest in becoming a pharmacist?
So it's kind of your classic story of being really good in chemistry in high school and having that interest with patients as well. I actually almost went to school for nursing, so I felt like pharmacy was kind of a little different aspect to that, where not as much hands-on work, but a lot of the thought process behind the mechanisms of drugs and how they interact with someone's body. And it just always was really interesting for me, especially, like I said, in chemistry then, going on and learning what a pharmacist does. It's kind of like an expert in drugs. So I thought it was very, very interesting from an early age. And like I said, I had support from a lot of my chemistry teachers in high school and my parents that kind of supported me along that path. And it seemed like a very interesting field to go into.
Dr. Nicole Rankin, how are you doing today?
I'm good. And Nicole is perfectly fine. I'm not at work, so.
All right. So what made you pick becoming an OBGYN?
So I knew that I wanted to do something with my hands. So I liked being able to do things with my hands. And I also knew that I liked taking care of women. I actually hated having male patients, no shade, but when I was in medical school, I got hit on and, I just was like, y'all can do you. I want to take care of women. And I toyed between OBGYN and general surgery and maybe going down like a general surgery, maybe breast surgeon track, but just ended up falling in love with the diversity of OBGYN and that you could do lots of different things.
So how you doing today, Dr. Dan?
I'm spectacular, man. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad you could take some time out to come and be on Pill Talk today. How did you get your start into the medical field?
Yeah, that was interesting. Well, I guess around age 7, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I kind of knew that early on. My parents were in the health sciences field. Mom's a nurse, dad was a microbiologist. I pretty much had no choice. My parents were also Nigerian, so, it's pretty much you, a lawyer, doctor, or accountant. Those were your 3 paths that you had to pick. So if you didn't pick any of those, you were pretty much outcast. Of course, that's changed nowadays. They've understood that there are many paths to success and to support those things. But I say that tongue-in-cheek, but that's really how it was. But yeah, I knew that early on in my lifetime. Other parts about, my profession and knowing and how I got to where I got to is, my parents definitely. We grew up in a praying family, and there were morals and expectations and responsibilities. I
have a special guest, Marlon Hamilton. Let's talk about your Navy career and how you got into the orthopedics within there. Okay. So was it a particular job or something in the Navy that you took up that got you into orthopedics?
Actually, when I was in the Navy, and the way they do it, you go to core school, which is the medical side of the Navy. And then once you do that, then you have to pick a specialty. And they let you walk around the hospital and kind of just look around and just see what you like. So I'm walking around the hospital, I meet somebody that's in orthopedics. And we start talking and have a nice conversation. He showed me around. I met a lot of different other specialties too. But when I saw that one, it really intrigued me. And I actually went in during the war, Kuwait War. So when I finished core school, I got sent to Bethesda Naval Hospital before it became Walter Reed. And knowing that I wanted to be in orthopedics, talked about working at least on the orthopedic floor.
I got a special guest, Dr. Katrina Bird, a med-peds trained infectious disease physician.
And I think a lot of times when you get those types of speeches, you're like, I'm just giving a speech to the audience. I'm not even sure what type of response I'm going to get. So in October of 2019, I had the opportunity to meet her in person. And I told her basically the story I just told you, that she inspired me to become a physician and ultimately pursue public health. And she was so excited. She said, I didn't even think I had that impact. And I said, yes, you did. And so I was just really, really excited to meet her and be able to tell her how much she inspired me.
Susan Paco, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. And how many schools did you apply to at once?
Okay, so the application process as it pertains to Formcast, Howard was my top choice. My mentor went to Howard, so I was heavily considering Howard. It was like, if Howard accepts me, then I don't really care to look at any other school. However, yeah, it's so bad. It was so bad, but I was like, I'm gonna pay for this one school, and then let's see how it goes. And if they put me on hold, then I had enough time to be able to apply to other schools. I had more than enough time to do that. So I applied on Formcast just for Howard. I did take a PCAT. However, I didn't have to take a PCAT. I took a PCAT as a backup plan if Howard didn't accept me, but Howard does not require PCAT anymore. I think they took it out about, I think my class or the class before my class was the first class to come in. Yeah, the P3s right now were the first class to come in without needing a PCAT. However, they have implemented other ways to, test your knowledge and make sure that you would still perform as well in pharmacy school. And I think we've been fine so far. Dr.
Joy Woke, who is a PGY1 resident at Baptist Hospitals in Southeast Texas. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here. How are you?
Appreciate you taking the time out to be on today.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right. So let's jump into it. What gave you your spark to want to become a pharmacist?
Yeah, so my spark to want to become a pharmacist, it's really weird because I can't really trace back why. A part of me thinks it may have been a career fair that I had experienced in elementary school, or maybe a billboard that I had saw, or maybe the fact that I would go to the pharmacy when I was younger. But being Nigerian, being in the medical field is very encouraged and emphasized, but I knew I didn't want to be a nurse and I did not want to be a physician. I liked chemistry, and so I love people. So tying those two things together, I think that's how I eventually ended up in pharmacy. But I've known since I was a kid that I wanted to be a pharmacist, in addition to some other things. But pharmacy was definitely something that I pursued very heavily, and I'm happy that I'm here now.
How was your week so far, man?
This was an interesting week, to tell you the truth. Interesting week. Well, a quick story for today. I'm on the phone with one of my friends and we were just talking about business and investments, because I guess at this point, this is kind of where all my conversations are going towards anyway. Yeah. He know I do other things on the side. He was talking about one of my businesses, and I was telling him, like, yo, don't run into my business like you're in the housing market, like you're buying and flipping houses. Stay into that. And let me be the guy that does X, Y, and Z on this side. And then once you get your money saved up or stacked up, I can show you and teach you everything so you can go from 0 to 100 instantly and vice versa. He was like, man, I ain't worried about that. I got my money stacked up. Curiosity killed the cat. I was like, so what are you saying? Like, how much money do you have stacked? He was like, yo, I got 6 figures right now in cash, just chilling in the bank. And I'm like, I talk about stocks on Dispenses Written Wednesdays on the first and third Wednesdays with my co-host Terry Scipio, just in case you just needed to know. He was like, yeah. He was like, but man, I ain't messing with the stock market though. I'm like, you're not messing with the stock market. I'm like, that's the easiest way to make money.
Hey everybody, I'm Lakeisha with Sunflower Burps, I am a certified holistic doula. I'm a certified placenta specialist and a certified breastfeeding community educator. So I started out recently last year, but it's about to hit that year mark and your girl has been putting in work. I have helped over 15 families so far. So yes, that's me, the doula.
That's what it is. That's what it is. So as we start this conversation, let everybody know exactly what is a doula.
Okay. So a doula is a certified specialist, of course, but also known as a birth companion. So as a doula, we are there to support, encourage, and advocate for expectant moms. And pretty much we're that person that kind of ease your stress that you may be having. We come up with the birth plans for you. We'll help you come up with the birth plan. We're that person that you can lean on. We're pretty much like your birth room homegirl, your personal assistant to kind of help you, to help you get through birth your way.